Question number 31. Azure services can go through several phases in the service lifecycle. What are the three phases called? Option A, private preview, public preview, and general availability. Option B, announced, coming soon, and live. Option C, development phase, QA phase, and live phase. Option D, preview phase, general availability phase, and unpublished. The correct answer is option A, private preview, public preview, and general availability. Azure services typically go through three main phases in their service lifecycle. Private preview, a limited release where selected customers get early access to new features for testing and feedback. Public preview, the service becomes available to a broader audience, but it's still being tested and refined. General availability or GA, the service is fully available to all customers and is considered stable and ready for production use. Question number 32. In the context of cloud computing and Azure services, how would you define compute resources? Option A, they are resources that execute tasks requiring CPU cycles. Option B, they include all resources listed in the Azure Marketplace. Option C, they refer exclusively to virtual machines. Option D, they encompass virtual machines, storage account, and virtual networks. The correct answer is option A. They are resources that execute tasks requiring CPU cycles. In the context of cloud computing, compute resources refer to the processing power required to execute tasks, which involves CPU cycles. These resources are typically used to run applications, processes, and workload in the cloud. This can include services like virtual machines, app services, container, and other infrastructure that performs computation. Question number 33. Which features within Azure collects all of the logs from various resources into a central dashboard where you can run queries, view graph, and create alerts on certain events? Option A, Microsoft Defender for Cloud. Option B, Storage Account or Event Hub. Option C, Azure Monitor. Option D, Azure Portal Dashboard. The correct answer is option C, Azure Monitor. Azure Monitor is the service within Azure that collects, analyzes, and visualizes log and performance data from various Azure resources. It provides a central dashboard where you can run queries using KQL, view performance graph, and set up alerts on specific event or threshold to proactively monitor your environment. Question number 34. What is single sign-on? Option A, the ability to use an existing user ID and password to sign in other applications and not have to create or memorize a new one. Option B, when you sign in to an application, it remembers who you are the next time you go there. Option C, when an application outsources its identity service to a third-party platform. Correct answer is option A. The ability to use an existing user ID and password to sign in on the applications and not have to create or memorize a new one. Single sign-on or SSO allow users to authenticate once and gain access to multiple applications or services without needing to log in repeatedly. By using a single set of credentials, users can seamlessly access various applications within a system, improving convenience and security. Question number 35. What is the default amount of credit that you are given when you first create an Azure free account? Option A. You can create one Linux VM, one Windows VM, and a number of other free services for the first year. Option B. Azure does not give you any free credit when you create a free account. Option C. You are given $50 per month for 1 year towards Azure services. Option D. The default is $200. The correct answer is option D. The default is $200. When you first create an Azure free account, you are given $200 in free credit to use toward Azure services for the first 30 days. After that, the credit expires and you can continue using Azure services with the free tier options available or switch to a pay-as-you-go model. Just a quick reminder, if you don't want to watch all these videos and instead download all questions and answers, then feel free to purchase them on Buy Me a Coffee page. I have shared the link below. Question number 36. Which Azure service is meant to be a security dashboard that contains all the security and threat protection in one place? Option A. Azure Key Vault. Option B. Microsoft Defender for Cloud. Option C. Azure Monitor. Option D. Azure Portal Dashboard. The correct answer is option B. Microsoft Defender for Cloud. Microsoft Defender for Cloud is a comprehensive security management service that provides a centralized security dashboard. It offers threat protection, security alert, and recommendation for securing your Azure resources, helping you to protect your applications, data, and services from potential threats. Question number 37. Which Azure service contains pre-built machine learning models that you can use in your own code using an API? Option A. Azure Blueprints. Option B. Cognitive Services. Option C. Azure Functions. Option D. App Services. The correct answer is option B. Cognitive Services. Azure Cognitive Services is a suite of pre-built machine learning models and APIs that allows developers to easily integrate AI capabilities like computer vision, speech recognition, natural language processing, and more into their applications without needing to build these models from scratch. Question number 38. In the context of cloud computing, a virtual machine or VM is primarily associated with which type of cloud hosting model? Option A. Platform as a service. Option B. Infrastructure as a service. Option C. Software as a service. The correct answer is option B. infrastructure as a service. A virtual machine is primarily associated with the infrastructure as a service model. In this model, cloud providers like Azure offers virtualized computing resources such as VMS, storage, and networking. The customer is responsible for managing the operating system, applications, and data on the VM, while the cloud provider manages the underlying physical infrastructure. Question number 39. What is the basic way of protecting an Azure Virtual Network subnet? Option A. Application Gateway with WAF. Option B. Network Security Group. Option C. Azure DDoS Standard Protection. Option D. Azure Firewall. The correct answer is option B. Network Security Group. A network security group is the basic way to protect an Azure Virtual Network subnet. It acts as a virtual firewall by controlling inbound and outbound traffic to network interfaces, virtual machines, and subnet based on defined rules. It allows you to define rules for IP addresses, ports, and protocols, helping secure your network traffic. Question number 40. You cannot have more than one Azure subscription per company. Option A, true. Option B, false. The correct answer is option B, false. You can have multiple Azure subscriptions per company. In fact, many organizations use multiple subscriptions to organize and manage resources by department, project, billings, or other criteria. Subscriptions help with access control, cost management, and resource isolation.